Tonight's big stories. The global aviation industry is booming as more people fly out post-COVID. But it seems the supply of planes, engines, and spare parts cannot keep up with demand. The problem has since trickled down, with some local airlines also feeling the pinch. How has this affected passenger traffic?
The Agriculture Department is celebrating its 125th anniversary. President Bongbong Marcos, who is the concurrent DA chief, expressed confidence that the country can reach the goals set for the agriculture sector. The president even cited numbers showing the growth of the sector during the first quarter of the year. More of that later in the show.
An iconic trio, Tito, Vic, and Joey, and the rest of the legit Tupper crowds have officially signed their contracts with TV5 today. TVJ could not help but feel emotional as they thanked TV5 for opening its doors for them and their new show that's set to air in July. What's going to be the name of this new show? Stay tuned. Welcome to the show. I'm Regina Lay.
I'm Gretchen Ho.
And I'm Sean Yao. I think this big story of ours is bigger than just the Philippines or the Philippine airspace.
Are you talking about the engine trouble? I was going to say
of the aviation industry, yes.
The whole aviation industry.
I think it's a supply chain problem
issue.
that's
Correct.
happening all over the world.
Yes.
I think after the pandemic, we've seen a surge in travel, also in demand, and nagkaroon ng problema ang ating two leading carriers, Philippine Airlines, also Cebu Pacific, with that.
And to add to the NAIA problems, right,
Yeah.
which is making a lot of travelers really irate. And
Also
we're seeing
on
that on
top-
social media.
Yes, also on top of course, high oil prices. Traditionally, yan lang naman yung pinoproblema ng mga airlines. But now, wala silang pang-repair, wala silang engine. Frankly, it's scary because, you know, what kind of planes are we riding? Have they been properly maintained? What parts are they
Alam ko
putting?
si Cebu Pacific, they switched to Airbus Neos.
Right.
Correct.
That's a new
that
engine
uses
option.
sustainable aviation fuel. Parang sinasabi nga nila, they're trying to turn their whole fleet into that.
Yes.
Pero
But,
ito
Gretch, may
nagkakaproblema.
That's right.
May sabit yun because with the new engine option, the Neo,
Neo, that's what it
and then
stands
the old
for.
one is CEO, current engine option. The Neos, less than half the flight hours pa lang, kailangan ng igarahe yung
Right.
eroplano.
That's maybe why they had to ground a
Yes.
few. But let's find out more of the details. As we were saying, we've had a string of issues involving the aviation sector, leading to flight delays and such, right? But it seems the problems are more complicated than all the complaints that we've been seeing online. Turns out there's a worldwide problem on the supply of aircraft and plane engines, particularly for US-based jet engine manufacturer Pratt & Whitney. Reports have it that the company has been having trouble supporting the maintenance requirements of its client airlines across the globe. Aircraft manufacturers like Airbus and Boeing are also struggling to produce enough units to keep up with demand as air travel comes back with a vengeance post-pandemic. Cebu Pacific, which recently made headlines over flight cancellations, is now set to receive 10 new Airbus planes this year, but with the supply issues lingering, this could likely be delayed. We tried to get Cebu Pacific's side, but they declined to comment for now. On the other hand, flag carrier Philippine Airlines said they're working to get more planes up and running. They've also placed an order for 9 Airbus jets scheduled to be delivered around the second half of 2025 to cover passenger demands. They just signed that deal actually today at the Paris Air Show. New president of Philippine Airlines, Lucio Tan III, the grandson, was on hand to do the signing for the new Airbus planes.
The question is, when are these planes going to get, or when are these planes going to roll off the assembly line and be delivered? As we know, hindi siya parang kotse. Medyo mas complicated ang aeroplano i-assemble.
Years before they sometimes get to us. And also, as you guys were pointing out earlier, the problem we're seeing now is that these newer model aircraft, right, they need maintenance
A lot more
a lot
often.
more
I
often
think it's
than
the
the older
Airbus
models.
that's affected
Correct.
by that.
The
Yes, correct.
Airbus, and then the other big commuter plane, yung panlaban ng Boeing, yung 737 MAX. It's also suffering the exact same problems as the Neo. So those are the big two.
Well, remember, we were talking about offloading problems by Cebu Pacific last week. And I think that gives us a bigger context, this conversation, as to why those happen, the overbookings.
Yes, but also just a quick insert here. My friend was supposed to fly home from San Francisco, And his PAL flight got canceled 2 hours
Wow.
before he was already in the
Oh.
airport in the Bay Area. So super hassle, di ba?
Yeah.
So it's not just Cebu Pacific.
Right. I mean, the bottom line is, number one, it's a global problem. It's not just a PAL or Cebu Pacific problem. And number two, there's also engine maintenance issues at hand. It's not just the overbooking problem, right? So there's a lot of factors coming into play here.
But then tomorrow, we have a Senate hearing scheduled for that. So I guess we'll find out more details, at least about the domestic issue on the overbooking flights with Cebu Pacific. So stay tuned for that.
Meanwhile, speaking of local problems, an ammonia leak at the cold storage facility in Navotas at around 11 last night claimed the life of one person, while over 20 others were rushed to the hospital. The casualty was a 16-year-old boy who had difficulty breathing and later on died at the Manila Central University Hospital. 23 others were meanwhile hospitalized after inhaling ammonia. Aside from these, the chemical leak also caused a fire at the facility at around midnight. The Bureau of Fire Protection declared fire out at 1:57 a.m. and soon announced that they have secured the control valve that stopped the ammonia leak.
Sumabog yung malaking portion dun sa kung saan nakalagay yung ammonia. So, in-stop ko muna yung operation, so nagkaroon tayo ng evacuation muna.
Let's check in on how the victims are doing now and what will be the fate of this cold storage facility following this incident. We have Yeda Pascual to give us the answer. Yeda, what do you have?
Sean, the over 20 residents who were rushed to the hospital after inhaling ammonia have now been released. As for the cold storage facility where the chemical leak took place, the Navotas local government has ordered its temporary closure while investigation into the incident is ongoing. Authorities will assess whether the company running the facility committed violations that resulted in the leak. Sean.
All right, thanks for that update, Yeda Pascual.
Baka nagkakalimutan, SIM card registration ends next month, July 25. As it is, the National Police has issued a warning against the sale of registered SIM cards. Last week, police arrested a Taiwanese national and his Filipino accomplice in Bulacan for selling registered SIM cards. The PNP anti-cybercrime group seized thousands of assorted SIM cards which they believe are being used for text scams. We've been getting a lot of those lately. Authorities remind the public that those who sell registered SIM cards will be equally held liable if it ends up being used in illegal transactions.
And here to talk to us about this modus involving registered SIM cards, we have with us PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group spokesperson Captain Michelle Sabino. Good evening.
Good evening to all the hosts, the anchors of the show. I
Captain,
don't know you all.
Captain, okay, may konting detalye lang po ako tungkol dito. No? 400 pesos binibenta yung registered, 800 yung registered and verified with e-wallets. Yun nga po, may nahuli was more than 7,000 SIM cards registered and being sold. My question for you is, have we identified the names linked to these SIM cards and how do we hold them accountable?
Yes, we actually we spoke with Globe and Maya because more often than not, what these people are interested is in the digital wallets because they use these digital wallets in the transactions. Because the SIM registration law will end up sometime in July, they are now rushing up to be able to use this what do you call this? SIM cards that they had before. So the process kasi is like, when you con people, kailangan mo ng digital wallets kung saan doon papasok ang pera. So that's how they do it these days. So the 7,000 plus SIM cards that we recovered, apparently, according to the investigators, pagka-registered na siya, meaning pasok na siya dun sa SIM Registration Act, they buy it for 400. If it is registered and at the same time verified through any of the digital wallets, they pay for it in the amount of 800 pesos.
All right, Captain, a further clarification here. You had earlier said, you went on the record to say na those whose names that are registered with those SIMs that are caught being sold should be held equally liable. I think it's
Liable,
also,
yes.
under the law, di ba? Pero paano yun?
Yes.
Pwede ko naman sabihin, for example, nagamit yung akin. Sabihin ko, nawala kasi yung wallet ko, or nawala yung SIM card ko, nakaw yung phone ko.
Yeah.
Di ba? Paano natin titigilan or wawakasan yung mga ganyang mga lusot?
Well, it is the responsibility of the SIM card owner, if it is registered already, na to inform the authorities, in which case the telcos na nawala. It's just like using your credit card. If it gets lost or stolen, you have to report it to your bank so that they can block it. So in the same manner, ganun din sa SIM card natin. Na pagka nawala or something stolen, you have to report it to them so that they can automatically block it in order for other people not to be able to use it sa mga scamming purposes.
Let's talk about it from the consumer's perspective. No, lately I think all of us, or at least most of the people that I've spoken to, have been complaining about tech scams, being spammed, all of these scam links, right? Some people fall for it. End up registering their details, their bank details on these fake websites. What can they do? How can they ask for help? Because a lot of the complaints that I'm seeing as well, these people would say, they approach PNP now, or they approach whichever provider is responsible, but they don't get any resolution to their issues. So how can we help them?
Okay, ang scamming kasi, scamming through the use of yung mga phishing links. The purpose or the intention for the people yung scammers to give out these links is for people to click on it. So once they start clicking on the link, that's the time na stolen ang mga information nila. So that is how they get hacked yung mga bank nila. So if ever na merong mga ganitong pangyayari, they need to report to us so that we can assess and assist them kung paano ang gagawin dun sa nangyari, because it would be a case-to-case basis on how it is done. And yung cybersecurity namin, sila ang in charge. If in case, kasi we have different units in charge in every different aspect na kailangang i-complain. Meron tayong cyber financial crime, meron tayong cyber response unit, and we also have cybersecurity unit. So we need these complainants to come to us para matulungan namin, and then we'll be able to assess and help them.
Ma'am,
Sorry, and then just very quickly, Captain, can you just specify how they can go to you when you say they should come to us? Ano yun? Social media, hotline, they should go to you physically?
Come to us. We have different offices all over the regions, and dito rin sa Manila, we have offices from the different districts. So Eastern, Northern, Manila, Southern, and Northern, Eastern, Manila, QC.
Wait, ma'am, yung 7,000 po na SIM cards, babalikan ko lang, yan po ba ay 7,000 unique names? Or do we see a problem with multiple registrations? Can you give us a little bit more detail on that?
Yeah, most probably, because like you, for example, Michonne, you are allowed to register as many SIM cards as you want. That is how it is. So ang ginagawa ng mga people like this cohorts that we apprehended, they are buying from people who have previously registered multiple accounts, and then of course you don't really use all of that. So yung isa ang gagamitin mo for your own, and then the rest they sell it out. So ito yung warning natin sa public, because once these people start using the SIM cards registered under your name, when we do the money trail or when there is a report about you, ikaw ang magli-lead, sa iyo itatrack, because ikaw yung registered name nun.
I hope we find justice for that in order to prevent more cases of this happening. Thank you so much for joining us, PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group spokesperson Michelle Sabino. And up next, concurrent Agriculture Chief President Bongbong Marcos remains optimistic about the sector under his watch. We'll take a look at his targets for the DA when the big story returns. Keep it here on One News.
You're still watching the big story here on One News. President Bongbong Marcos expressed full confidence that the goals set for the country's agriculture sector will be met in the next few years. Speaking at the 125th founding anniversary of the department, Marcos said that the DA's goals will be attained as he cited the recent improvement that the country posted in terms of production. The president cited a 2.2% or 9.8 billion peso expansion in agricultural GVA during the opening of the quarter of 2023. Marcos, however, said that there is still a lot of work to be done, urging the department to continue collaborating with experts toward agriculture development. But some good news as well for DA employees, as Marcos said that they plan to give incentives in celebration of the agency's 125th anniversary.
Despite some modest gains, marami pa tayong kailangan gawin. Kaya kailangan natin pagmasdan, pag-aralan at bantayan yung mga iba't ibang puwersa na nararamdaman natin na kung minsan nagiging sagabal sa ating performance.
Well, President Bongbong Marcos was also asked about the incident regarding a Chinese Navy tailing the BRP Francisco de Gojoy in the West Philippine Sea last Thursday. Let's get the details from Shyla Francisco. Shyla, what do you have for us?
That's right, Regina. When asked about last Thursday's incident, President Bongbong Marcos said unlike before, the Chinese vessel just tailed the Philippine vessel. Marcos, though, noted some progress in the fishing talks between the Philippines and China despite recent reports of Filipino fishermen being blocked off by Chinese vessels off Pag-asa Island. He added that the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources has projected an even bigger haul for Filipino fishermen due to the improved situation in the area. Regina?
Thanks so much for that update, Shyla Francisco.
Over at the Health Department, they're looking to make primary care services more accessible for Filipinos. 5 LGUs and 2 private sector groups partnered with PhilHealth to form a primary care network. This network allows LGUs and partner clinics to share resources and medical personnel. It offers checkups, laboratory tests, and pharmacy services. The DOH says there will be no reimbursement scheme and that primary care providers will be paid ahead for their services.
Parang yung naging problem in the past, yung interim reimbursement, bibigay na yung pera sa kanila base sa number of constituents na miyembro na beneficiaries na nandoon sa primary care network niya. Nauna yung bayad bago yung serbisyo.
What else do we know about this primary care network initiative? We have JC Cosico to tell us. JC, how will this be rolled out?
Gretch, you know what? This initiative won't be open for everyone just yet. For now, around 2 million individuals from Bataan, Baguio City, Guimaras, Quezon Province, and South Cotabato, and around 300,000 beneficiaries under the care of 2 private clinics are expected to benefit from this. PhilHealth will be spending 1.2 billion pesos for these primary care networks, and it is also looking to partner with over 2,000 facilities this year to expand primary care services to more Filipinos. Back to you.
Thanks for that information. That was News 5's JC Cosico.
Sari-sari store owners may now order stocks for their inventory without even leaving their stores. How? Well, that's going to be through the BPI's Banco new E9 app. I should say E9. Kasi yung spelling medyo different eh. So it's letter E. So it's letter E dash N-A-Y. So E9. I guess it's pronounced like E9.
Who usually run sari-sari
That's
stores.
right. So it's this new app which connects micro retailers to distributors and wholesalers, allowing them to conveniently order their merchandise online. Our reporter Pam Vasquez has the details.
Ate Ineng has been managing her sari-sari store for 3 years now. But she admits it's still a challenge restocking supplies.
Yung pag mamimili ka sa yung mag-grocery ka, ang hirap, tsaka mahal ang pamasahe.
Apart from having to temporarily close down the store, it's also time-consuming and a hassle to carry it all the way back. But with BPI subsidiary Banco, grocery shopping has become easier for micro-entrepreneurs. Through their E9 app, mothers can now order and restock their supplies online.
By empowering these micro-entrepreneurs with the necessary financial tools, we aim to make a positive impact on their lives. And ultimately, by doing this, we're able to contribute to the overall economic prosperity of our country.
For existing Banco account holders, just download the app at Google Store and register. You'll also need to link your Banco Pondo Co savings account as the platform encourages cashless transactions. They also have same-day delivery. The E9 app aims to make online or digital banking more accessible to the public, especially small and medium-sized enterprises.
We hope that all Filipinos will be able to access our services without feeling intimidated to do banking.
For those who don't have an account yet, only one valid ID is needed to create one. They also do not have a maintaining balance. Around 70,000 accounts have already been activated, with the majority coming from provinces like Pampanga, Bulacan, Rizal, and Laguna. BPI's E9 app is targeting to reach 100,000 users within a year. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez, We Are One News.
After this quick break, the iconic trio of TVJ and the rest of the legit Dabarkads have officially found themselves a new home in TV5. They also announced details of their upcoming noontime show that will air on the Kapatid Network starting next month. More on that when we return. Keep it here on One News.
Welcome back. You're still watching The Big Story here on One News.
Girls, the real big story for the day. Yep. Especially here in TV5.
I thought the big story was that we're wearing color.
Oo
We're
nga
wearing
eh.
yellow.
Oo,
and I'm
nagsisig
wearing
tayo,
both your
diba?
colors today.
So it's really not the aircraft shortage. Gretchen, please, go ahead.
Well, it's official. The iconic trio Tito, Vic, and Joey and other legit Dabarkads are now officially part of the Kapatid Network. This means, ladies, that they will soon return on air through their new home, TV5. TVJ and the rest of the Dabarkads have signed their contract with MediaQuest Holdings Incorporated this afternoon. Present in this historic contract signing is MediaQuest's big boss, Manny V. Pangilinan, and CEO Jane Basas. In today's MediaCon, it was announced that the Dabarkads' new noontime show will go on air starting July 1 from 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. TV5 Chairman MVP gave the Dabarkads a very warm welcome, and TVJ could not help but be emotional in expressing their gratitude. Let's watch this.
We extend to TVJ a very warm welcome and look forward to a long and productive partnership with them. We wish them all the best, and hopefully they would succeed more under TV5.
MVP, yan ang boss. Maraming salamat, boss.
Iyak!
Bossing!
Bossing!
Nakakaiyak talaga. Ang feeling namin para kaming si Saint Joseph, si Mama Mary. Hindi, na naghahanap ng bahay, di ba? Hindi ko naman sinasabing ito'y sabsaban. Napakagandang sabsaban ito. Thank you.
In other words, thank you is not enough. More than thank you.
Salamat.
And to the Dabarkads, to the legit Dabarkads.
Yes, legit Dabarkads!
We love you. Maraming salamat.
Thank you, bossy. Thank you po.
DJ. Go for the gold and beyond!
Very emotional MediaCon this afternoon. Sabi nga ni MVP, mahal ng Pilipino ang basketball. Kaya naman bakit namin tatalikuran ng mahal ng Pilipino na Itbulaga?
Totoo yun.
That's what made them emotional, actually.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of people were tuned in. A lot of members of the media were also there asking questions. Siyempre, Gretch, yung big question ng lahat. So, anong pangalan? Ipaglalaban ba natin?
Pinaglalaban nila Itbulaga, sinasabi nila, legally. But on July 1, they will surprise us.
But for now, they can't use it because it's caught up in legal
Baka magkaroon
battles.
ng TRO.
Correct.
Kung ginamit,
So they
diba?
can't use it. They're getting the lawyers to
Both
work it behind the
sides.
scenes.
Both sides.
So
Being
for
very
now
careful
daw,
about it.
surprise muna. So magkakagulatan na lang tayo, I guess, no? Sa July.
Ito, sabi ng MediaCon, the trio said they still want to use the Itbulaga name. They note, though, that they're still in a battle with their former producer Tape for its use. But while that's going on, TVJ says they will be surprising their viewers with the name of their new noontime show come July 1.
Basta ako, Itbulaga ako.
Ikaw. Hindi, ano makikita namin title
Sabi nga ni Pare
simula sa
Joey,
July 1?
Kanya-kanyang title. Basta ako,
Okay.
Itbulaga.
Joey, ikaw?
Wala, yun nga masaya rito eh. First time to na show na maraming title. Bahala tayo.
Doon tayo sa serious side.
Yes.
All right. We definitely are working on the legal side na Itbulaga.
Okay.
Si Joey nag-invento nun eh.
Okay.
History and the law back us up. Yun ang ganun kasimpleng usapan nun. So therefore, it might take some time. But we will be able to use Itbulaga. I'm sure of that. Ngayon, paano sa July 1?
Yes.
Ang usapan namin kanina nila Jane at nila Jenny, susurprise namin kayo sa July 1. Ang title.
Now, ladies, another big story today is, of course, ABS-CBN announcing that its Showtime is leaving the Kapatid network. Its Showtime will no longer air on TV5 starting July 1. In a statement, ABS-CBN extended its heartfelt appreciation to MVP for his support and for bringing its Showtime to a wider audience. It also said that they have respectfully declined the 4:30 p.m. time slot offered by TV5 for the noontime show. With that, the network announced that its Showtime will air on GMA's GTV starting July 1. In today's MediaCon, MVP explained that it was a coincidence that the block time arrangement with its Showtime is set to end on June 30. He says choosing to give the noontime slot to TVJ's new program was a tough choice, but notes that this was a business decision. Pangilinan stressed, though, that TV5 is proud of what the network has done for its showtime.
We felt obligated. It was part of our duty that if they're looking for a home and for such an iconic entertainment phenomenon, it deserves a home. And it's our obligation to provide them a home. Hindi kami nagkulang sa pagtulong sa ABS naman. We're proud of what we have done for them.
I think everybody's a winner. I mean, it creates a lot more excitement over the noontime slot. Hopefully brings more eyeballs back to TV.
Hopefully, like that this props up TV, noontime viewing, and you know, people can now continue their noontime
Pero
habits.
medyo weird, no? Parang bumaliktad.
All right, guys.
Meron come full circle,
That's true.
right? That's one way to
Bilagang
look
mundo.
at it. Yeah, exactly. What goes
Sabi
around
nga.
comes around.
Sabi nga nung Showtime, nakaikot na rin kami sa lahat
Oh,
ng
there you
network
go.
in less than 44
O, teka,
years.
umikot kayo sa TV5 kasi meron doon mga malalaking picture ng The Barkads sa hallway.
O sige, dadaan
Ano
ko na
kayang
kasi
way to
kagabi
welcome
wala pa
them?
yon. So ang bilis din nun.
Super bilis.
Alright, before we go and before July 1, let's take a quick look at our big picture for the night. If you're wondering what you're seeing on your screens, well, that's a flatfish, more commonly known as tampalpuke. So why is this our big picture? Well, it's definitely not because of the name, but because this type of fish has recently been emerging in Manila Bay. Now, this is unusual because flatfish normally dwell in sandy areas or sandy seas, but fishermen in Noveleta, Cavite have caught kilos of them. However, unlike other fish that we are more familiar with, it is said that they're not normally caught in large quantities. Some of the reasons attributed to the appearance of the flatfish are water pollution and the numerous reclamation projects in Manila Bay.
Edible ba yan?
Edible.
Mukhang pwede.
Piniprito daw yan normally. Pero kasi nga,
kakainin mo ba?
Laguna, they buy, right?
That's what
Or
happens when you
60%.
reclaim so
Exactly.
much
of
of
our 60%
natural
of our supply
resource.
also comes from there.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, like use your discretion in
Eat at
consuming.
your own risk, right?
And that's it for the show tonight.
We are One News, all sides, all the time.
Thanks for watching and good night.